So if you are part of the gaming community, and if you've been online in the past week, then you may have noticed that your feed may have had a picture of Tifa here or there. Most notably, the Tifa pictures from Rebirth, where she is wearing her somewhat revealing swimsuit. Or should I say, a regular swimsuit, right? Like, if you go to a beach, you're gonna see people that look like Tifa. It is what it is. And people were eating it up, right? We were like, wow, finally, a game is finally coming out that is not going to overly censor its characters. And here's the thing, it's not the fight for cleavage, right? I'm not over here trying to fight the good war of, freeing the titty, but it's just one of those things where a lot of gaming companies feel the need to censor their products for Western audiences. So, rightfully so, when people saw this image of Tifa floating around, when we saw the gameplay for Rebirth, a lot of people were rightfully pretty excited. We were like, yo, Square Enix has been very prude in the last couple of years, but it looks like with Rebirth, they're turning a new leaf. But that was until this most recent article dropped. So this is written by IGN, and it says Final Fantasy VII Remake's surprise patch includes Tifa outfit change ahead of its Rebirth release, and it also breaks a major mod. So we're just gonna go through this article and talk a little bit about it, but they write that with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth releasing just later this week, Final Fantasy VII Remake got a surprise update, tweaking one of Tifa's outfits and breaking a heavily used mod. The update was released across PlayStation and PC last night. Square Enix didn't reveal the full patch notes for the version, only listing it as updates to several bugs on its Steam page. Fans, however, were quick to notice one change in particular in regards to Tifa's outfit. As spotted by Reset Era, Tifa's cowgirl-inspired outfit and the Nibelheim flashback was slightly changed to add a black undershirt under her white button-up. This change is likely a continuity one, as the outfit patched more closely resembles its design in Rebirth. Okay, so there's a couple of things with this. First up, Square Enix is lying, oh, we only updated several bugs in the game. Okay, you're changing costumes. I wouldn't exactly call that a bug, unless the shirt existed in the coding of the game, and for some reason, it just never displayed. If that's the scenario we're playing with here, then sure, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a bug fix. But no, it looks like they actually do just want to censor Tifa. And then there's the excuse that this change is a continuity one. And it's like, okay, but why not just change the outfit in Rebirth instead? If anything, it should be easier to change in Rebirth because Tifa and all of the characters of Final Fantasy VII have the ability to change costumes at whim. It would be much easier to change that rather than go back to a game that released 4 years ago to patch this up. And the timing, it just seems so strange as well, because Final Fantasy VII Remake came out in 2020. Why go back into the past and change history when you can easily just tweak Rebirth to fit this? It doesn't make any sense, and I feel like the timing is beyond wild as well, considering that Rebirth releases later this week. It's not like people are not gonna buy Rebirth because of this by any means, but it's just the fact that this coincides with Tifa trending online. People are praising Square Enix, saying, wow, they finally did something right. Finally, they're not having to censor their games for Western audiences. And then what do? They're like, oh, people love that we don't censor our games? Let's show them who's boss. And then they go back and censor Tifa from 40 years ago. It doesn't make any sense to me. And, just to finish off this article, and then we'll go on to the next one. But they finish off and say, also significant is the fact that this update breaks the crucial Final Fantasy VII hook mod on PC, as reported by WCCF Tech. Per its official description, Final Fantasy VII Hook unlocks the dev console, giving access to console commands and easy changes to the game's CVARs, along with allowing loose INI files to be loaded in from the game's config folder. Pretty much, if you didn't understand that sentence, this mod allows you to just do whatever you want, right? You can tweak the game to your fancy, so it looks like Square Enix wanted to put the kibosh on that one, which I also think is a really strange move for a 4-year-old game. This is a patch that you would roll out day 1, day 2, maybe a week after this mod releases, but why now, right? Is this for Rebirth? Is this Rebirth marketing at play? I have no clue. This right here is just a really wild thing to do 4 years after Final Fantasy VII has been released. And it's a single player game, mind you. This isn't like an MMO. This isn't a multiplayer game where this is somehow gonna break the balance of the world. No. This is just a single player game. This is just people having fun. And the craziest part about this too is that modders were quick to revert some of these changes. There was a modder out there on Nexus Mods who actually went back and removed the black undershirt. It's the fight for Tifa's cleavage, essentially. But what happened was that Nexus Mod actually got rid of the mod that reverted these changes. So it's like, yo, like Nexus Mod is being bought out by Square Enix or something. It's just such a strange hill to fight on. And of course, with this whole debacle, we have articles like this popping up. Final Fantasy fans furious that 15-year-old Tifa has been, quote, censored. You know you lost when you have to bring in the age debate to a video game. Like, dude, what? So Tifa's age, at least for me, has nothing to do with this. I think it's really disingenuous to look at all of the censorship that Square Enix and a lot of companies have been forced to put up with in the past couple of years and just boil it all down to, oh, fans wanted to see a 15-year-old girl uncensored. It's like, okay, that is just absolutely ridiculous. No, this is a fight for censorship in general. This has nothing to do with Tifa's age or, you know, that she should be sexualized. No. But either way, let's read this garbage post. As much as it never surprises any of us here that fans get upset over the weirdest things, it always disappoints us. Mainly because we foolishly expect more from them. Oh, it's like I'm disappointing my mom and dad. Case in point, our fans absolutely livid over the censorship of 15-year-old Tifa. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is an exceptional game. Our very own Dan described it as a triumphant evolution, yet some fans have found ways to be annoyed. At first, it was because of accessibility features that highlighted in yellow where players should go. Okay, people don't really care about this as much as they think, but whatever. A feature plenty of games now have. And we go down a little bit, and they say now, it's over the censorship of a Final Fantasy character who is 15 years old during the scene in question. I really want to emphasize that before fans message me to explain that Tifa is 20 in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, during a flashback sequence, Tifa's outfit in Final Fantasy, they can't even spell the name right, but Tifa's outfit in Final Fantasy VII Remake has been updated to match that of what she is wearing in Rebirth. She now wears a sports bra crop top rather than something much more revealing. And for some reason, let's be honest, it's for very gross reasons that fans are upset. And then they show this tweet here by Alex Donaldson. Let's see what it says. I haven't actually read this one yet. So he's listing these comments as a kind of a gotcha moment, but it says, they seriously went and updated a 4-year-old game to censor Tifa. They literally just put her in a bikini. This company is so backwards. And it looks like the two other comments featured here also have the same sentiment. And it's just strange that it just suddenly turns to an age debate for Tifa, like we're going back and looking at the Carfax to see when she becomes legal in Final Fantasy VII. No, it's not that. It's arguments like this that just make it seem like these guys have nothing but porn on the brain, right? They see a little bit of cleavage and they're like, oh, that's porn right there. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This is a fight over censorship more than anything else. So, continuing on and reading this, it looks like they just talk about the Twitter thing, and they follow up and say, we won't delve into the plethora of comments about this change because, quite honestly, they get grim extremely fast. The main takeaway is that fans are furious over a teenage girl dressed in a way they can't easily oogle. It's... What a sad era this is, when they can't realize that Square Enix is just censoring a game for no reason. If Square Enix is going back to a 4-year-old game to censor Tifa's outfit here, what will they not censor, right? How far back will they go to just censor some outfits to make certain audiences happy? It's just a really sad reality where censorship is ruling the media. But hey, what a strange time we live in. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. How do you feel about Square Enix going back in time and changing outfits? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Are you one of the people who just really hated that scene and thought that Tifa just needed a black undershirt? I would love to hear what you have to say down below. And here's the thing, last thought on this, but if it is just a continuity one, I feel like this would be fine, but the thing is that they could easily just change the outfit in Rebirth to fit. I don't know why they just went back and did this. It doesn't make any sense. Instead of matching history to what they're crafting in the future, they're changing history to fit the future. It doesn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense, and I'll see you guys later.